Hello, how's it going today? It's Frankie here, and I'm back with another movie review. And this movie is the ninth movie in the Saw franchise. And bear in mind, I did not know about this title either, same with Jigsaw, which is Saw 8. But this movie right here stars Chris Rock and Samuel Jackson. Now, Chris Rock, he's more of a comedic actor to me in terms of like, it suits him doing more other type of films that has comedy in it and rather than horror. Now maybe it's because he's a comedian in that sense. That's why it probably suits him. It didn't work out with him doing horror. It felt really weird. Like he felt like he's trying to become someone he's not in that movie. Whereas Samuel Jackson, he can play literally any type of role in any sort of movie. Comedy probably wouldn't necessarily suit him, but he's more of an action type of acting. So like doing action movies, adventure type movies. He fits that role perfectly. Whereas in this one, it just doesn't suit him. And in this Saw, again, this Saw was just above average. It wasn't as good as the other Saws. I think this is probably the fourth Saw film that I'm going to rate the same as like three other Saws. You'll find that later. So let me get into it anyways. I'll cut this as short as possible. Watch the full movie first and then watch my video. So then, it starts off with Chris Rock's character Banks investigating these like deaths from the Saw, traps. And his dad is Samuel Jackson's character. I've forgotten his name anyway. And the only thing that was good in this movie was the traps, as per usual with these Saw movies. So that's why it can never be below average because it's such a good movie in terms of storyline and the traps and whatnot. And it was only corrupt cops that were getting caught in these traps. Like you have traps, you have these traps such as the guy when he's stuck on the train tracks, and the train hits him. You have some guy that has his fingers like removed or pulled off or something like that and electrocuted. You had this woman that had wax poured in her face. You had like another scene where a guy was skinned alive, and you know one where um, Chris Rock's character's dad is getting yeah you'll find out about one in a minute. But he meets his like his partner. I'm bearing in mind though, I know I'm struggling to make sense of it because there's a lot of details in this movie, but I'm doing the best I can to explain it all. And he meets you know, his new partner basically that this Angie set him up with, and he's very significant. You'll find out anyway soon. The spoiler is contained in this anyway. And he starts to find out all these clues, and he keeps talking to this these other officers and talking to these other people that's been he thinks is involved in it, and he then gets to like a part where this guy called Pete, who was like covering for back in the days when he was a police officer, when he's like he covered for him like when he shot somebody when he shouldn't have committed a crime basically, and he tried to save him, and there was a trap there where he tried to that there was glass being fired into him and stuff like that, and yeah, it's kind of one of those ones where it was these were new traps coming in. Like these traps weren't different. I don't think I've seen these traps before in the other Saw movies, so they kind of keep getting in with it. I mean, they ran out of ideas in terms of storyline. It wasn't as effective as in these other Saw movies. It didn't feel the same. It was more like they use like a copycat, use something completely different. It's weird. And knowing these Saw movies, the twist as well at the end is kind of what makes it better because you don't expect that person to be involved in it. And it turns out his boss, not his boss, his partner was involved in it. His partner faked having a family just to try and twist that wheel him into the game basically. It's hard to make sense of it all. It's very a lot of dialogue goes into it. It's quite confusing at first. You get used to it though. And yeah, so he says he died about having a wife and kids of that. I mean, it's crazy, and it's funny how these characters' demeanors change. Like when these killers find out, especially in the Saw movies, when they find that they've been caught, it's their demeanor starts changing. They get all cocky and arrogant, look more evil. It's because they've been found out, so that means their true self has been revealed. It's quite ironic. I literally thought it was Banks's character, that Banks's dad, that actually was behind it. He could have been part of it, but why would he get his son into all that trouble? And then the trap where he had to try and get him out of that trap at the end, and the police officers are shooting up. That was his trick though, and you begin to find out there's some clues to it how, his partner did it. His partner took his phone and started messaging his dad. His partner was like, trying to like, he's using baby noises as a way to say he has a son when he doesn't. it's sort of like twisted. Like it's such a clever mindset on how this movie's written. It's brilliant, but it was a bit disappointing because the dialogue didn't feel effective, and that's what I mean. The music that was there's always it just I wasn't feeling it. The only good thing was the traps. That's probably the only thing that came out. And the acting too. You can't go wrong with the acting. You know what I mean when the Banks' dad at the end when he got caught up into it. But I did not know his undercover partner. No, I didn't know his partner was part of it. You would never suspected the people innocent to be part of it. I thought like the woman officer was probably not the boss. That Angie was part of it. No, I thought his dad would have been part of it. But why would the dad be part of it though? And then it's like you see the flashbacks of them showing how it was done the entire time and just sort of members of it's quite a great concept. That's why I love the Saw movies. Even though this is the fourth one so far, which I think is just above average, but not the greatest one. It's the traps make it exciting. The storyline why they do it is brilliant. But Don Kramer wasn't in this one. I mean, the title Spiral from the Book of Saw, it says it all. I think anyway. I don't know why it wasn't part of the other ones, like the Killers wise, but it's still part of the Jigsaw murders. It didn't quite work with me. I didn't understand it at all. These were Jigsaw. It made sense. Don Quinn was still in it. I don't know. Concept was wrong in it. I didn't agree with it. I didn't like the whole Chris Rock being it. It doesn't make any sense. It didn't feel right. There's too much dialogue, which is good. A lot of dialogue is good, but it kept dragging itself. I was waiting for more traps to come in, more drama, more intense storyline. The twist was good, the traps was good, the acting was good. It just didn't have enough tension and build up to it that the first 7 Saws had in terms of dialogue and story. I didn't like it that much. It is above average. I will give this a 7 out of 10. It would have been 8, 9, or 10 if it was brilliant and more intense. I didn't feel that. I wasn't at the edge of my seat in this one. The first 7 I was. This is the 4th Saw movie that I rated a 7. So you can tell, even if it's average, it's still above a 5. That's how good these Saw movies are. It may not be that good, but it's still good in that sense of like it has the traps in it. It still has the same style and storyline, but even if it's not the best, it's still above average. That's how good these type of movies are. It's brilliant. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, whoever made this one, thanks for making it. And I'm waiting for the Saw 11. I know I haven't made sense of this video, but I tried to make it as short as possible, so bear with me. But watch it for yourself and give me your rating on it and tell me how you actually feel. You might have said it's better anyway, but anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give a like, comment, share everyone you know, subscribe and hit the notification below as I see you in my next video.